Friends, so you people have understood the water resources entirely. I have sent the question answers. You can copy down the question answers. See that you are writing the question answers from the manuals. You can take the help of your friends and copy down the question answers. Already, so far we have completed nearly 7 to 8 lessons. So go through the lessons properly, understand it, and write the question answers. I'll just tell you, you can write the question answers of India, location, extent, physical features. You can write the question answers of climate of India. You can write of soil resources. You can write of natural vegetation. Then you can write of agriculture, that is food crops. You can write of the agriculture second part, that is cash crop. So far you can write nearly these all water resources also. So according to me, you are writing 1 2 3 4, then 5 six lessons question answers you can already write in your books. So see that you are writing the structured answers. You are writing the structured answers, that is the long answers and 8 short answers. Yes, 8 short answers and all the structured answers. See that you people are writing it neatly. Fine. So now coming to the next lesson, that is I'll be taking the first lesson, essentials of the map reading. Why should we know the map reading? Why is it necessary for us? What is a map? In the beginning I'll be asking, what is map? Map is nothing but it is a drawing on a paper. If at all I want to draw a city, I'll be drawing it on a paper. That will be having a proper scale accordingly. So when I mention the scale, I cannot bring the hectares of land together on my paper. But if I put on the scale, then the person who reads the map can understand that 1 centimeter is equal to this much of land. So the scale is a must whenever I am drawing the map. I have to put the arrow mark or the directions, that is whenever you are seeing the map there is a direction showing it, this is the northern side. So that particular direction should be there when you are drawing the map. The third point is you should know or you should put the keywords. Suppose you are telling something or you are showing some symbols, who will understand what it is? So it is needed that you mention that your icon is mentioning about this particular thing. For example, I'll put a cross mark and I'll mention it as hospital. I'll draw the tracks and I'll mention it as a railway track. So these keywords are very important whenever you are drawing the map of any of the places. So when we are talking about the maps, as you have already learned in the prior classes, you are having the physical maps, you are having the political map, you are having the climatic thematic map, you are having the counter maps, etc. You are having many types of maps. So each and every map are having its own importance. Maps are not the invention of the modern age. They were in existence even in the ancient times. Even in the ancient time, early dynasties, even they knew about the maps. You can just see in any of the now at present we are having drama and Mahabharata going on in the televisions. Even they used to have the maps during that particular time. So these are needed, which is highly pictorial, presenting the ideas by a rough sketch or picture without any scale or accuracy regarding relative position or the size. So this is the introduction of the map. But when I draw the map, I have to see that I have to I have to put on all the 3 things which I mentioned. This particular map word has come from the Latin word mappa, which is a napkin, which is a flat or a plain surface where I am drawing the things. So when I am talking about this maps, I should say about the classification of the map. Classification of the maps are of two types. One is on the basis of scale and the other one is on the basis of purpose and the context. When I am talking on the basis of scale, I should talk about or I should tell about the large scale map and the small scale map. In the large scale map, we will be seeing topographical maps, the plains and the cadastral maps. In the small scale maps, it is the wall maps, it is the atlas maps. On the basis of the purpose and context, it is the physical maps and the cultural maps. So, now the classification are done on two bases. If at all there is a question you may have on what basis the classification of maps are done, your answer should be on the basis of scale and on the basis of the content and purpose, classification of maps are done. So now I'll be talking about the large scale maps, or we first will go with the topographical maps. When I'm talking about the topographical maps, so far we were marking it as x-axis and the y-axis, but now on we have to answer it, or we have to call it them as the eastings and the northings. These are the eastings and these are the northings. So keep properly this thing in mind, the northings and the eastings. Okay, so the map show natural as well as man-made features of an area. In the topographical map, we may show the village, we may show the town, we may show the entire city or the railways or the roads, etc. These are all the natural things or the man-made things. We can put entire things in this particular topographical map.